All right, we are live. Thank you.
Okay, then we are live.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, let's go ahead and in the absence of us being able to hear our chairman, I'll fill in until we can work out something else. And welcome everyone to the governance meeting. And let's see, our first action is the items for the consent agenda, which is the Service Delivery Operational Committee, the COVID-19 emergency measures, the property casualty liability and workers' comp insurance renewal, and from the Financial Services Audit Compliance Committee, there was the 2023 proposed operating and capital budget, the Remix 1-year contract renewal, the Clever Device Central Modification Change Order, the Retiree Accidental Death and Dismemberment AD&D Insurance Renewal, and under the Systems Development Planning Committee, the TAM and STG policy and TAM plan revision and update, the July 2022 equality analysis for route modification, and the last thing on the consent agenda is the Executive Governance Committee, the vision, mission, and value statement. Are there any questions about the consent agenda?
Director Stone, we have available our lead staff here, and what we'd like to do is to take each of these committees and offer each of them an opportunity to provide you with a little more information about the matters that are on the consent consideration committee. So if that's all right, I would like to ask Mr. Dumas for any comments or additional information on the two matters that are under consent consideration for the Service Delivery Operational Committee.
Absolutely. I didn't know how you wanted to proceed with this, but yeah, we can just go down the line.
Very good. Thank you, Director Stone.
Thank you.
Good morning, and to the chairman and all our board of directors. So in your information, the Service Delivery Operational COVID-19 emergency measure. There's no change in the process other than the fact that we've extended the date to go to September. It's a 3-month process that we're doing. So September 27, 2022, the extension of that measure. What we've done as far as mask mandate, the changes are there. There's no longer a mask mandate that requires customers to wear a mask, but we're still asking and encouraging them to wear a mask while using public transportation. And so we wanted to make you aware of that, as well as that we're still having full seating capacity only. So we're not going to standing room only, but full seating capacity. So those are the changes, the things that are occurring with the COVID measure that's currently underway, and we're asking for an extension until September 27th. Any questions on the COVID measure before I move on to the property casualty and liability? If not, the property casualty and liability workers' comp insurance renewal, this it's scheduled to expire this year, and so we're in the process of doing the renewal. The Seacrest will have their representative present next week during the board meeting to go over this package, over all the options, and present it to the board members at that time. So if you have any questions or any more information that you desire, you will be able to ask those questions or get additional information during that presentation.
One thing I would add to that is we met with the Seacrest representative this past week and had an opportunity to review the proposal. They marketed us very aggressively as we had requested as a desire to increase the competition for our business and best value and such. And we are very pleased with the insurance renewal package that you're going to be presented and receiving next week. Ms. Cutter, did you want to offer any more comments on that? Or?
No, so that's that they were very diligent in representing January Transit and bringing forward best proposal.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think you're going to be very pleased with what you're seeing. And again, it's a reflection of the team effort that you've seen, particularly over the last few months, with regard to how we are managing our exposure and our liabilities. Our safety and risk management team has just done an extraordinary job. I know we've certainly talked about that in the past, but I'll take this opportunity to do it again. And it is directly reflected in the proposals that we've gotten back, which ultimately is directly reflected in kinds of the financial integrity of our budget and so forth moving forward, and the amount of resource commitment we have to make to, what is a necessary part of our operation. So we're very proud of that. Did you have anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right.
I have one quick question. When are we going to have the board package so we can review those insurance documents? It's usually about 70 or 80 pages.
Dr. Halloran, we can have the board packet out today.
Okay, if not, at least that part of it so we can start reviewing.
Mhm.
It's usually pretty complex, especially with all the different ones we're renewing at this point.
Yes, sir. We'll get that out to you all today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I appreciate the question. And the Financial Services Audit Compliance Committee, we have 4 matters that will be up for consent consideration. Ms. Cutter, if you would please present.
Thank you, Mr. National.
I'm not sure. Can everybody hear Faye and Stephanie?
I can.
I'm not hearing them either.
Good morning, directors. I will be providing highlights for 4 items for the upcoming agenda. The first, of course, is the FY23 proposed operating and capital budget. The operating budget is being proposed at $30,062,178. And the capital budget is being proposed at an amount of $20,637,825. The second item coming forward is the REMAX 1-year contract renewal. This is a software that supports the planning function. The third item is a Clever Device contract modification change order. This is a change order that has been already implemented and put into place. However, it did not follow our procurement practices. So we are bringing it back to the board for ratification. There was no additional cost associated with this modification. There was an exchange for project training in lieu of the unneeded training. It was for 2 years hosting plus 1 year of test servers to support the Clever Devices installation on our equipment. And then the next item is the retiree accidental death and dismemberment. That was not a part of the insurance renewal package that was approved last month. We are bringing it forward for approval. Of course, it's at minimal cost of $159 per year. And this is a requirement in compliance with a signed union agreement.
One other thing that I would mention with regard to the particular one on the Clever Device contract modification is that Director Robinson had brought forward a question on that matter. And with regard to the signatories on it, which is also a part of the procedural matter that Ms. Cutter noted, we will be correcting for that in this action at the board meeting as well. We appreciate Director Robinson bringing that matter to our attention.
I have a question. And maybe this is for, well, for you, Ms. Cosmo, and also for Stephanie. The county is recommending a slight rollback. And I want to make sure that you all don't have any comments or questions about that. I mean, in light of the digest, I don't think it's going to be significant at all. We're just very fortunate with the digest growth being what it was. But I wanted to have the opportunity to ask if there are any concerns before we get into this Friday's commission meeting.
We don't have any concerns. We have been very fortunate, and we always have a lot of very engaged conversations with the county commission, both the leadership and the staff. And we were very aware of that action, even as it was moving forward, and understood what the implications are for us. And we don't have any concerns or comments at this time.
Just
Okay.
to add that we don't anticipate any negative revenue impacts as a result of the rollback.
I mean, we still should come in a positive light with the digest being around 14%. So I just wanted to make sure before Friday's meeting. Are you all going to be there for Friday's meeting?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope so.
Okay.
They're estimating
mean,
at 14%. That's incredible.
I know. Well, I knew it was, I mean, all you've got to do is look around town and say, with all the properties that are selling, with realtors telling me that if you're interested in a piece of property, you got to put in an offer that day. And then some of these properties, ending up in a bidding war. So it's really crazy right now.
And I'm just wondering how the increase in mortgage rates are going to affect that down the road.
I don't know. I honestly think this is going to stay for a while, especially with announcements like the Hyundai plant up the road a piece, so to speak. But everything that's indicating is that it's not slowing down quite yet.
Hopefully they all move to Chatham County.
Well,
Pretty close to our border, isn't it?
Yes, it's very close, but as our director said, this is, excuse me, our CEO said, this is a great opportunity for us to maybe look at some route to service that, but I don't want to get into all that. I'm getting off track here, but I just want to make sure that we were okay with that slight rollback.
We are, Director Stone, thank you for asking that question, though, making sure that the committee had the opportunity to hear that, and Ms. Cutter and I will be there on Friday. So.
Right, because I'm not even sure that the board of directors is aware that we're looking at a slight rollback.
All right, and the next item on the agenda is a planning committee. As you know, I'm still acting in the capacity with providing the direction and management of our planning activities. But I'm very grateful to have Ashley Goodrich, planning manager, acting as support staff for these matters. And she's going to give you a brief review on the TAM plan and the equity analysis for future route modification. The TAM plan is updated for CAT's asset management for our future fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2026. The TAM committee meets monthly internally with multi-departments CAT staff, which will continue through fiscal year 2023 as it has progressed through fiscal year 2022. The TAM plan is required for FTA to be
renewed once every 4 years and submitted to the FTA. We will be looking at this plan to go to the FTA at the month of July, once it is approved by the board. The TAM plan we will work through and progress through the master transit plan later this fall. And that will also work in conjunction with our transit asset management.
I would also add to that for the board's understanding, while this has been housed under planning in the past, we believe, especially as a part of our reorganization, the appropriate home for the town and the responsibilities for it would be with the maintenance and asset management department or component of our organization. And as we fill that position to lead that group, the primary responsibilities for the TAM will migrate over to those that are responsible for asset management as it should properly be done. But for now, it sits in its existing home where it's been for a bit until that position is filled and we can complete that. And the reorganization that's also, as we mentioned to you, is running right alongside the budget work that we're doing right now too, and those things will conclude together. So, next slide.
The next item for systems development is the July 2022 equity analysis and board approval for route modifications. In your packet, you will have a major change service equity analysis for the Route 25, the Route 7F dot Forsyth, and the Route 7D dot Downtown. There are timing adjustments being made to the route system in tandem with the summer service change calendar. The major change analysis is before you as the once approved by the board, those route changes and modifications will go into effect. Currently, staff is working through technical issues on the service changes, and we foresee that the service changes themselves will be implemented at a later time. But in order to progress to changing the route system, the equity analysis is before you before this month.
Does that change the, quick question on that, does that change the timeline for the changes to the dock shuttles as well?
It does. The issues that we're working through right now with trustees with the scheduling software is going to require a bit more time. We've already notified the city, as a matter of fact, this morning that there are some software challenges or some analysis, the technical challenges that we're having. We're working through those now, and then once all that is complete, and we've also taken a really good scrum at our scheduling approach. That the changes then, as actually mentioned, that we would implement would be brought forward at that time. So we're going to be a little bit delayed in that. The other thing that we're doing is that we are also bringing in some peer review expertise. You may recall that some months ago, right before we were deploying our electric vehicles, Serta Greta, the ATL, loaned us 2 of their experts to come in and do a great peer review of what we were doing and how we were doing it, and offer some suggestions based upon their experience and expertise. It was a really great ability to both build our network, but also to build that kind of peer independent review that is really, I think, a part of being excellent. And so same thing with this, as we're experiencing some challenges there with the some technical side of it. We are very pleased that the director of transit, Gail Franklin, from the ATL, will be joining us probably next week, it looks like, to offer some peer support in this area, but also just a great community that we have in Georgia. How we all work together.
Just a couple more questions on the dock. So I've had a lot of, specifically the neighborhood association residents in the areas, reach out to me about that. After this board approves that and the technical details are worked out, are there any obstacles beyond those 2 that would lead to implementation?
Not even that I know of. So we're working with the city in conjunction to have the signs procured and purchased.
Okay.
So in terms of sign installation, media and communication rollout, new maps, brochures, maps downtown, all of those will be updated through this exchange. So kind of working through the trapeze, it also gives the city a little bit more time to get those things and items purchased and procured. So.
Any other questions or comments?
I had one. Has there been any further movement towards bringing back the airport shuttle? I keep
That
hearing
also-
rumors that they want to bring that back.
Well, I think what they've asked us for right now is an additional stop or restoration of the stop.
Mhm.
In that location out there. We are working on that now. There's some additional background work. I don't know that I would put a timeline to it yet, Dr. O'Halloran, other than to say that that is in progress. And we are coordinating with the airport on that.
Well, my concern is that, looking at all this route material that we went through just now is the Title VI implications where that's a different fee than any other service. That was a $5 charge where we're charging less than that on every other route. Is that legal?
What we will have to do, Dr. O'Halloran, is we'll have to look at that again and make sure that everything we're doing obviously is fully compliant with Title VI, with the requirements for us, with our own service planning requirements, and with FTA requirements. So whatever we bring back to you to implement on restoring that stop or looking at how we expand that service will be analyzed for those kinds of concerns. But I'm making sure that you put a point on that for us so that we're paying close attention.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we probably weren't able to do that in the past, but I don't think it ever came up that that was a consideration.
If I may, I'd just like to give a shout out to the team, I'm guessing the planning team specifically. If you haven't taken a look, the July 2022 equity analysis is probably the best example I've seen as a board member of getting into the nitty-gritty of what equity analysis actually looks like. Really bringing some important information right to the front. It was fun to read, which is I think a unique word to use when coming up or talking about any sort of report like that. But it looked great, so thank you. That's really helpful.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Then the last item on the agenda today is the vision, mission, and value statement. Are we, as our technology, going to permit us to put it up on the screen?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I know technology's not been our friend today. So we will be bringing this forward for the board's adoption. Let's see.
Let's see.
Give us just a moment. I'm gonna try to put it on the screen so we can all look at it at the same time. Again, this is as reminder background. This is the vision, mission, and value statement that you all worked so diligently on in our recent work session that Saturday, and the tremendous input that you provided to it. We've also worked with staff on this as well. So there's been input from both the policy governance side as well as from the operations and management side into this document, and we're very pleased. It's a living document. So this is our vision, mission, value statement now, and of course we will over the coming future we will revisit that as there are opportunities to update and so forth. But it's an important step that you all will be taking in the opening board meeting to actually adopt this.
We may not, because court is.
Well, I know that you
going
all
back.
have seen it before. We were just gonna try to put it on the screen and then, for others to see that.
Stiana, do we have extra court? HDM.
The next item is, I'll keep moving and if we can bring it up, we'll put it up on the screen. The next item is updates to the committee. We don't have any particular updates today, other than to say that we're very excited about the progress that we're making in our communications group. Both Ariel Johnson and our new staff member, Madison Williams, are doing an absolutely extraordinary job of really putting us in a different plane, I think. You're gonna see, in addition to the Wellness Center mural competition, which is getting a lot of excitement and buzz in the community, that Parker's is sponsoring for us, and the partnerships that we're building through the judging committee that's gonna be a part of that. We've got a really expansive group of folks in the committee that are gonna be working on that. We are also doing things like developing a podcast for CAT that'll be called CatCast. And you can be prepared that certainly there will be opportunities for board members to come and participate in a CatCast and talk about your role as a board member and what CAT means in the community. We're also really doing a lot of sort of idea development around the upcoming birthday celebration later in the year, and some community member profiles that we're talking about doing around people that are, I'm a transit rider, I'm CAT, and that represent all different parts of the community. The master transit plan is nearing the end of the committee that is doing the evaluation and review of that. And so we, in July, we will be bringing forward a recommendation to you on an award for that. And again, I think I've mentioned this in other committees, but we got 5 very fine proposals that are being considered, and 5 for an activity like this is really indicates the strong support and interest that we have out there in the market. So
We do, yes, ma'am.
so we've got the action. Here we go. So our mission, you see it here, that we deliver public transportation services that connect people to the places they need and want to go reliably, safely, and sustainably. And then you see our vision document, and then down to our values. And the value statement is one that I'm particularly proud of because it runs through everything we're doing in terms of our mission and vision. We are about excellence, we are about integrity, and we are about sustainability and service to our community. And I think that the key words there are in service to our community. We truly do feel like that's the job that we are performing to all members of our community. So with that said, I don't think I have anything else in terms of updates to the committee. Don't think we have any matters of old and new business. And so I will turn it back over to the chair for the next meeting and adjournment.
Okay, I just noticed this, but some of these are the same.
Yes, I did.
Okay, as long as somebody knows that it's not.
No, I actually, I just realized that. I just wrote that down.
But it looks great.
So there's no old business or no new business. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, hearing none. Our next meeting obviously will be our Board of Directors meeting, which will be June 28th, which is this coming Tuesday, a week from today. And so we will look forward to everyone being able to attend that. And if there is nothing else, I don't know whether I need a motion to adjourn, but I'll accept one.
No.
You can adjourn us, Helen.
Second.
Okay.
All right. Director,
All right.
Leggett, you want to speak to Director Leggett?
Yeah, take note of the mural thing, because there's like, we're working on the Delaware Center where is that? It's on Delaware and 35th Street. The city's redoing the Delaware Community Center. And I think, watch closely as this mural project happens, because it's gonna be incredible how many people we're able to bring in that can see Cat in light. And we get something really beautiful and incredible out of it. We can talk about that. And it's so rare that we've just got like good, simple, cool news to talk about. It's helpful. I think it's a great way to be
Right.
proactively making good things happen. And I know there's a big yellow wall on the side of the Delaware Center that we could be painting murals on. So that's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, thank you all again so very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you all. All right, have a great day.
And
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Helen.